Hello, welcome to Winter Recovery Yoga. So, the other day, actually yesterday, I spent a lot of time shoveling snow and I'm so sore today, probably from improper form while I was shoveling snow. Because it's mostly like my lower back, my hips that are tight, but also my shoulders are sore. So today we're going to be using a foam roller. If you don't have one, but you have 2 yoga blocks, you could experiment and get creative. Otherwise, if you don't have one, I recommend you should definitely get one because they're very, very nice yoga props and great for muscle recovery. I'm going to begin by sliding my foam roller underneath my knee joints, knees bent, feet down, and I'll just slowly make my way onto my back however I get there. So if your lower back is feeling tight ever, I usually like to cue that we have on our backs our knees bent and our feet down. You could even walk your feet out and then let your knees fall in. Now, if you think it'll feel okay, you've got your foam roller or your blocks underneath your knee joints, then maybe lengthen your legs. See if that feels nice. With your legs lengthened, you could experiment with pigeon toeing your feet. So big toes turn in towards each other, heels turn out. Take a breath. Now we're going to send our heels in and our toes out, kind of like first position from dance. Take a breath. And we'll bring our legs back to neutral. If that felt good, then you might slowly flow with your breath between pigeon toe and first position. So heels out, heels in. All the while, I'm keeping a neutral low back curve. So I'm not trying to flatten my lower back on the ground. I'm just allowing my lower back to have its natural and neutral curve. So neither flat nor overarched. And sometimes laying flat like this and allowing my neutral lower back curve will actually it feels like my spine kind of like popping back into place. I know it doesn't sound good, but you can actually feel that realignment. And I don't know if it's actually my spine. It might be more like my hips popping back into place. But there's definitely sometimes a shift of something, and it's a good thing. So, of course, if you're experiencing something that doesn't feel beneficial, get out of there. We'll bend our knees and re-ground our feet. You can leave whatever prop underneath your knee joints is fine. Take the feet a little wider than hips, arms out like a big T, palms up or down. Give your chin a little tuck towards your chest. With your exhale, let your legs fall one way. Gaze very slightly, very softly away from your legs. Inhale, eye gaze to the sky, knees to the sky. Exhale and switch. Legs go one way, gaze the other. Well, let's take this for a few rounds with our breath. These mid-waist twists. The legs are kind of wide. Letting your prop catch your legs. One more round. And when you're ready, we'll bring the knees up and hug under your thighs or over your shins. Nice tight hug with breath. You might even rock from side to side, giving yourself a nice lower back massage. Just allowing the ground to act as your prop for myofascial relief. Eventually, I'm gonna choose a side. For me, that's my left. Curling onto my side into a little ball, eventually coming up and taking a seat. Any sort of seat that works well for you. If you go to crisscross applesauce, just notice which leg you've set in the front. I'm gonna bring my prop forward. This might be a little interesting with your blocks, but the foam roller will roll doing its thing. I'm gonna start out with some wrist circles, just letting the wrist know that I'm gonna be using my hands. The wrist might be bearing some weight. And reverse, you might hear some snap, crackle, pops in a good way. And we'll take the palms down and out, flexing and pointing away, the fingers, and finger flicks. So pretend that you're flicking water off. And you can do this as much as you need to wake up your hands. Now I'm gonna bring my hands to my blocks or my foam roller, and I just want to glide my hands, especially that really meaty part that joins the thumb to the rest of the hand, to get some myofascial release on the palms of my hands. I am applying light pressure so it kind of feels like a massage. And now bringing the focus away from the inner hands, kind of where the thumb meets the hand, and onto the outer edges of the hands where the pinky meets the thumb. I mean, not the thumb, the hand. So we're getting these, did the outer edges, and now we're doing the, inner and outer. Woo! Yes, it is my job to talk for a living. Alright, so just rolling it out till you're content. If you have the flexibility in your hips, depending on how you're seated, it might feel nice to continue this foam rolling onto your forearms. So gliding your forearms along your prop. If you don't have a foam roller, you probably are going to need to get really creative, or you might even just rub your hands along your forearms. So again, I'm gonna start to focus on the edges of my forearms for a while. So maybe starting with the outer or the inner, and then coming back to a flat, avoiding the elbow because we never want to foam roll on our joints. And then I'm gonna switch to rolling the inside of my forearms, which will have my palms facing out. I'm going to flip my forearms over and do the fronts now. Front of the forearms, kind of working the inner edges, taking them flat. You probably won't be able to do the outer edges like this. And from here, we'll bring our palms back to the foam roller. On an exhale, you'll reach all the way as far forward as you want to go, feeling a nice stretch in your hips and across your glutes. I stuck with the cross-legged leg position, so that's what I'm experiencing. Maybe a little stretch on the outside of the thighs as well. And letting your head hang between your arms. Taking one more round of breath. On an inhale, we'll roll the foam back towards our legs. Sit up nice and tall. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale and slide them down your back. Now, if you're in cross-legged, I recommend taking a moment to switch the cross of your legs. You might even need to shake your legs out for a moment first. And we're going to bring our left hand down to our left side, sitting nice and tall. Right arm reaches. Inhale. Exhale, side bending any amount towards your left. See where you can soften. Experiment with looking towards the ground, forward or upward, just see what works. If you look upward, you might even lift your heart a little bit. It kind of gives you a different feeling in the right rib cage and across the back. Take one more round of breath. Inhale, come all the way up and switch sides. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, side bending any amount towards your right. Experimenting with eye gaze. 2 full rounds of breath. On an inhale, we'll come all the way back up. You can reach up if you really want to. Exhale, walking your hands forward. Doesn't have to be on a prop. It could be into your forward folds. Breathe 3 cycles. Inhale, start to walk your hands back towards your legs. Sit up tall, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, shoulders travel down your back. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches, big breath in. Exhale, lean left. Inhale, lift your heart if you want to. Exhale, round down, reaching towards your left. Right arm crosses the body. Inhale, reach through center, big breath out. Inhale here. Next exhale, reach your arms, turn your torso over your right thigh. Breathing in, breathing out. And we'll come up through our side stretch to the right, shifting the arms. Hand reaching, extending. On an inhale, come all the way back to the top. Right hand down, left arm reaches, big breath in. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Inhale, lift your heart if you want to. Exhale and round down, reach towards the right side. Following inhale, reach to center, big breath out. Keep it low. Inhale, reach to the left, a round of breath. And we'll come up through our left side stretch. Take your time, pause. Inhale, come all the way up. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale and down your back for 2 shoulder shrugs with breath. Last one. From here, we'll take our hands behind our hips, sending feet down, knees to the sky. If the wrists are sensitive, make fists with your hands. Pull belly button up and in towards your spine to prevent any overarching in the lower back. Exhale, windshield wiper your legs off towards your right, any amount that feels good. Inhale, knees skyward. Exhale, legs left, and I'm kind of looking away from the legs. We did these a similar mid-waist rotation on our back, so it might feel like that, or it might feel a little different in seated. Let's do one more round, assuming you're still enjoying it. If anything ever doesn't feel right, just continue. Fast forward. Bring the knees up. Come on up. Big toes touch, heels apart. Knees come out, heart comes forward. Inhale, cow spine. Exhale, knees align with hips. Round back and cat spine. Inhale, scoop it forward, make space by opening your hips. Exhale, curling back. For around, 4 to 8. Core control, cat-cow flow with butterfly legs. 4 more, nice and slow. Make sure your core is feeling really strong. It's working as you round back. Last 2. Meet back and seated. Finishing here. Crawl to child's pose, however you make it. I like to come through all 4s. I like to take my knees out, and I'll sit my hips back any amount towards my heels. If this is feeling a little tight, then before you force your way back, just grab your blocks or your foam roller, and you can kind of sit on the foam roller and also have it towards your belly. Might bring your forearms down and make a pillow for your forehead. I don't like putting my face right on my workout props, even though I clean them. It's just I don't like it. So find a place that you can rest here, something that feels like a little stretch in the hips, across the quadriceps of the upper thighs, down the back. Maybe you feel it in your shoulder. One more round of breath. Inhale, come up through all 4s. Find your way back into seated. However you get there, we're going to do something that's a little bit weird. So you could go to crisscross applesauce, or you could bend from both knees and slowly send your lower right leg beside your right side. That's a lot of cueing. Your right foot is by your right hip. I'm going to bring my left hand down beside my left hip. I might make a fist with my left hand. Right hand to my heart. I'm going to inhale and think of opening my heart, lifting it towards the sky with the mobility behind your heart. So the mobility in your mid and upper back is what opens the heart, what lifts and expands the chest. If you have it in your practice to develop the hips up and reach up, optional to do that. Exhale, let it land. If that felt good, do it one more time. Inhale, lift the heart. You could stay here or reach up, getting a nice stretch at the front of the hips. And lightly land. Stay here. Use your props over towards your left side. I'm going to exhale and take a gentle twist over towards my left. I'll be aligning my breastbone somewhat over my left thigh, my left knee. And then if it feels okay, on your next exhale, you'll start to hip hinge and fold forward. I'm going to move my prop just so you can see a little bit better. Now your leg is in the way, your forehead is not going to come all the way to the ground. You could experiment with props or stack fists to rest your forehead, just as long as you're comfortable. This is sort of like pigeon. It's a seated pigeon, or I think it's got another name. But ideally you're feeling a stretch in your hips, you're feeling a stretch across the left glute. We're going to have an option to add on, very optional. This pose gets a little weird. Inhale here. As you exhale, hands down, start to crawl your hands on the ground more left. More of a twist, starting to feel like a very open twist. Find support from your hands or left forearm down, right hand down, or right forearm. That feels a little tight for me. You're going to start to feel open at the front of the right hip. You're also going to start to experience a stretch across your lower back. Take a round of breath. We're going to come out of this so slow as you can. Inhale and start to crawl your hands all the way back to the center. Come up, stack your joints. Optional, bring your hands, both of them behind you, hands down, or make fists with your hands. Keep it really easy going here. Take a breath. Exhale, use the strength in your core to sit all the way back up. Swivel your legs long in front of you. Walk your glutes out from under you. So move that muscle out of the way so your tailbone feels relaxed. Flexing your feet gently. Spread your toes wide and then relax. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Spread your toes and relax. Do that 2 more times, sitting as tall as you can, long spine. 1 more. From here, I'm going to bend from both knees, keeping my lower right leg in front of me, and my lower left leg now is to my left side. The left foot kind of by the left glute. Whatever works for you, it doesn't have to be exactly like this. As I exhale, I'm going to turn my torso rotation towards my right and come down any amount. Maybe you're using your props again under your hands here. Just get creative to feel comfortable. Notice maybe there's a difference between sides. Maybe one side was tighter than the other side. And if you're experiencing any pain or just feeling tight in general, imbalances in the body, getting rid of those imbalances can be extremely helpful. But if it doesn't help, then it might be a sign that there's something else going on and time to talk to a specialist. Let's take another round of breath. Now either stay here or super optional. I'm going to bring my hands down, get a little higher up, and check in with this side as I curl my hands more to the right. For me, I always enjoy right forearm down and left hand down. This is going to feel different for everybody. Just see what works for you. But we're looking for, I know it's a really strange looking pose, but the only goal of putting you in this position is I would really like you to feel a release across your lower back that feels beneficial. I'd really like you to feel a stretch at the front of your left hip. Take another round of deep breath. And your breath really gets into all of the spaces of the body and wrings out the tightness. As you inhale, as slow as you can, you're going to crawl your hands all the way back forward and sit tall. If you want, bring your hands behind you. Maybe make fists with the hands. Take a breath. Use your core to come up. Exhale, bring the legs back forward. This is staff pose. I was trying to think of the name. So my legs are long. I'm sitting as tall as I can. I might bring my hands down. I want to send my shoulders down my back. I want my neck really long, my spine really tall. You might spread your toes and relax. Spread your toes and relax for 2. And when you're ready, we're going to crawl through all 4s. This time, locate your foam roller. I'm going to be placing it vertically. You could experiment with blocks too. Taking a wide knee, sort of child's pose. So we want to make space because the bolster is going underneath me, and I am going to roll it. So with wrists under shoulders, I'll bring my right hand to my heart. Inhale, option to reach out, reach up. Exhale, bend from your left elbow, thread your right arm under your heart, and the foam roller has landed sort of on the outside of my upper right arm. Thread the needle with the benefit of the foam roller. So we want to go nice and slow. We're avoiding the elbow and just placing light pressure so it feels like a massage. This is myofascial release. So getting into the connective tissues that sometimes get a little tight, a little knotted. Rehydrating those tissues for more slide, which leads to more comfort. Staying hydrated and drinking water can also help eliminate those what we call knots. And I'm not going too far into the shoulder because I would probably just roll right off of this if I did. And steady. Inhale, press through the left hand, reach the right arm up, and set it down. From here, I'm going to take the other side. Left hand comes to heart. Inhale, open and reach. Exhale, thread it through, landing the upper left arm on your bolster, and give it a little roll, nice and slow. You might find some areas that feel tighter than others. Those are called trigger points in the world of myofascial release. So if you do find one of those trigger points, it's okay to stop and sort of pay more attention to that spot. And then go on rolling the length of the muscle once again. And steady, press through the right hand. Inhale, open up left arm to the sky and release it down. Maybe you would like to take a little brief child's pose over the bolster or, bolster, I'm so used to that, foam roller or whatever you're using. Come back into a seated position. Lots of stuff on the ground today. I'm going to take my foam roller in front of me. It's kind of on a diagonal to my right. I will then, this is another nice sort of hip opener, but I'm actually going to roll the outside of my right lower leg. And then the left leg, just brace yourself, whatever works with the left leg and the left hands. But as I'm rolling the outside of my right leg, I'm opening into my right hip dynamically. I'm avoiding the ankle, I'm avoiding the knee. And now I'm going to take it and roll this right leg flat, so right behind to calf muscle. The back of the ankle is okay. Avoid the back of the knee though. And then I have something else for the inside of the right lower leg, so we'll come back to that. Let's move on to the left for now. So I'll take my foam roller vertically but on a diagonal. It's over on the left now, and I'm bringing my lower left leg to the foam roller. Just bracing myself with the rest of my body. Try to stay relaxed. We're going to move on to placing the foam roller flat. So I turned it horizontal for this so that I can really focus on the back of the lower leg, the calf muscle. You can do the back of the ankle. This is a really tight area. We don't want to overdo it either though, so we're spending just enough time, not too little, not too much. So this isn't something that you want to do all day long. It will loosen up with time. We're going to come back for the inner. So this one's a little tricky to get to. How did I do this? Oh yes, I remember. So I'm going to, vertically place my foam roller. I'll bring my hands back behind my hips. I'll shift my legs over to the left in that gentle rotation, looking towards my right, and placing my lower right leg on the foam roller. I'll start to glide along the inside of my lower right leg, avoiding the ankle. Come back up and switch. Legs go to the right, gaze to the left. The foam roller kind of goes on a diagonal. And you're targeting the inside of the lower left leg. No ankle though. A few rounds. You've got this. And relax. Bring the foam roller, this one's a little tricky, to the back of your thighs, right at your hamstrings. Remember, we're not doing behind the knees. You'll brace your hands by your hips, hands down, or make fists. Now I'm going to lift my feet, lift my hips, and I'm gonna glide along the foam roller. You could do one leg at a time. If you're like, ooh, this isn't working, then it's sort of the same, just the foam roller is under one thigh instead of both, and the opposite foot is down with the knee bent. So see what works for you. If you are doing one side, make sure you switch. I'll tell you when we're about halfway through. All right, we're about halfway through, so if you're doing anything one-sided, make sure you switch. Take about 5 more rounds of breath. And I want to point out here, as I'm rolling, my shoulders aren't going to stay perfectly stacked over my wrists, but I'm going to be closely monitoring my shoulders, just constantly checking in. Does this feel beneficial? Release. We're going to get into our glutes. For this, I'm going to bring the foam roller horizontally all the way underneath my thighs, bend my knees, feet to the ground, lift my hips, and I'm going to sit right on top of my foam roller. I'll go really small, really gentle, forward and back motions over my glutes. I might kind of tilt to one side for a while and roll along. You can move where your hands are if your shoulders are feeling really misaligned over your wrists, then the hands can move and reposition. And again, we're looking for trigger spots, which you might find trigger points in the glute area, because this is a large working muscle group that does get tight. And we just want to avoid rolling on the outside of the hip. So even though I'm shifting to my left now, I'm staying in the glute and off of the left hip. Center and release. Now this one is a little tricky. I am going to roll my lower back, but I'm not going to arch over the roller. I'm going to stay in our rounded cat spine curve. So I'm up on the roller, my hips are lifted, knees bent, feet down. I'm bracing with my arms, and notice I'm staying in our cat spine curl. And this is placing a flat lower back on the roller, because we don't want to increase our lumbar curve. That area tends to be curved enough. You can even roll like the tops of the glutes, usually is nice, and then the lower back. We're going to roll all the way down so the bolster is at our mid and upper spine, keeping a neutral low back curve. Any arching back is going to happen right behind the heart, and you'll notice that my arms are tucked on the outside of the foam roller. This kind of helps me get into position. Once you feel solid, like you're not just going to roll any which way. I'm going to wrap my hair up in my hands to reduce the chances of it getting stuck under the foam roller. Lightly interlacing my fingers behind my head, breathing in and opening my heart in and out. You get a nice roll at the back. And follow your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale and round up. Mid to upper back. Let's do 2 more like this. It does feel like sort of a sit-up. The core is engaged. And round up, I'm going to place my arms for bracing. Take it slowly all the way down and place the roller right behind your head where your skull meets your neck. It will feel like a little heart pillow back there. And you can do whatever you want with your legs. Now, if you would like, you could very slowly, very softly roll your head along the length of the foam roller. This will work with a block as well. The block does have a little bit of a harder edge, so lighter pressure, and if it doesn't feel good, then it's probably not a good thing. So just if you don't feel great, then just continue. And find some stillness for a moment. We'll stay here, just taking a brief pause. One more round of breath. Remove any props that are under your head. Exhale, hug your legs in towards your body. Under your thighs or over your shins can be in an embrace. And we're going to rock from side to side, as long as that feels good, until you choose a side. For me, that will be my left side, because that's towards the camera. Curl into a ball and come up when you are ready. We need to do the front of our body. So I'm going to bring the foam roller horizontally in front of me. I'll come into all fours. Remember, the nature of this is it rolls. This one's kind of hard, so maybe I'll show one side and then I'll show both sides. So I'm coming up onto my fists for this one, just to give myself more height. I do want to keep my hands braced on the ground. My right knee is down, and I'll probably tuck my right toes under just to give myself more support, more leverage. And I have placed my lower left leg on the foam roller as much as I can. I'm gonna keep my joints stacked, but as I roll the front of my left shin bone, I am moving my shoulders a little forward of my wrist. Of course, my left knee is going forward of my hip. I'm gonna show this now, switching sides. From the side, so now it's under my right. This is what it looks like. I am not rolling the knee. I am rolling a little bit of the front of my ankle very gently, and I have worked my way up to rolling both shin bones. So if you want to try that, if it hurts, don't do it. I know with foam rolling there can be slight discomfort, but if it hurts, you shouldn't do it. Tuck your toes under, place your shin bones on top of the foam roller, hands down, keeping the toes tucked. That will keep you from bearing too much weight at first, and then setting the hands. If it feels like it'll be okay for you, engage your core. The core is going to control this movement, and you can roll your lower legs the length of the foam roller. So I have placed weight in my hand. I would say like a prerequisite for this is, can you hold a strong plank? Core control. Pulling it out. And then walking your hands back, landing in big toe pose, which is another thing you could incorporate in this practice if you want to try it out. Horizontal foam roller. We'll place our shin bones on the foam, keeping the toes tucked under. This is a variation of big toe pose. Another way to do big toe pose is on your knees, sitting the hips back any amount. So you could be bracing yourself with hands down on something. Big toe pose is usually pretty intense, so we won't spend too much time with that today. Coming back onto your foam, the foam roller is horizontal. I'm going to place my thighs, so quadriceps on the foam, elbows under shoulders. I'm on my forearms. I usually have to kind of walk my forearms forward and back at times, rolling your quads along the foam, avoiding your knees. Just taking it back and forward. This is another muscle group that is usually pretty tight, pretty sticky with a lot of trigger points. Taking some time, maybe 3 more rounds of breath to roll this out. When you're ready, I'm going to roll all the way so that the foam roller is underneath my hips. And this is maybe something I should show from the side. Just stay right where you are. Foam's under my hips. This is a supported Sphinx pose with the foam roller doing its myofascial release for your hip flexors. Now, if you would like to experiment, you can come onto your hands, taking a high cobra. Tuck your toes under to prevent slidage, lifting your knees to an upward facing dog with the support of the foam. That's only if it feels good. Knees come down, press back, then untuck your toes. Land in any variation of your child's pose. 3 rounds of breath. Inhale to all fours. We're going to pick our right leg up, sending right knee to the right side. Lengthen your right leg out. Set the sole of the right foot down. Keep your right knee soft. Inhale up to gate pose. If you want, you can exhale, leaning up and over, side bend to your right. Inhale, return. Exhale, hands come down. Soften your right knee a whole bunch and start to scooch your right foot forward so you end up in a lower lunge. Front knee over ankle, tuck or untuck the back toes. Inhale, come up just about halfway. Place your hands to your sternum at your heart. Shoulders down your back, a low power lunge. Inhale, rise all the way up and reach for the sky. Exhale and slowly come down. Right hand to the instep of your right foot. Look forward, take a breath, big hip stretch. When you're ready, feel solid in the hands and scooch your right foot back, right leg back, right knee lands. Inhale, pick up the left leg, knee to the left. Extend the left leg, ground the left foot. Soften the knee. Inhale to gate pose. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, return to gate. Exhale, hands come down. Soften the left knee a whole bunch. Scooch the left foot forward till you find your low lunge. Try out a low power lunge. Hands to heart, loading the glutes. Inhale, come all the way up. Low lunge. Exhale, bring your hands down, left hand in, step with the left foot, look forward and breathe. Slowly scoot your left leg all the way back, knees land. From here, we'll find our foam roller again for probably, I think it's the hardest foam rolling technique. So putting you in a side plank, I'm going to try to show an option. It's a little tricky with the foam roller. I'm keeping my left knee down. The foam roller is on my left side. I've got my left forearm down. As much as possible, I'm going to keep my left shoulder over my left elbow. I've bent the right knee and set the right foot down. And this is helping me with my pivoting or rolling on the foam. Now another option is you could step your right foot behind the left leg or in front of. You can experiment depending on if you set the right leg, the right foot down in front or behind. You'll get more of the front of the outside of the left leg or the back. Now when you're ready, come through all fours or plank, and you're going to turn around, do the same thing. So experiment with rolling along the outside of the right leg, not rolling the hip, avoid the hip. Be mindful of how you feel in your shoulders. And we'll come out of it through all fours. Step your right foot forward, low lunge, low power lunge. Use the glutes. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, right hand in step of the right foot. Scooch it back, all fours. Exhale, left leg forward, low power lunge. Inhale, up. Exhale, down, left hand in step of the left foot. Scooch it back. Relax into any sort of seat that feels beneficial to you. Recovering with your breath for 2. When you're ready, making your way to your belly, keep your foam roller vertically outside of your left leg. Bend from your left knee and place your inner left thigh on the foam roller. Laying however feels comfortable, bracing yourself with your left hand. And we'll try to glide our left inner thigh along our foam roller, avoiding the knee. Also a hip opener. When you feel content on this side, I find it easiest to take the foam roller out in front of you and then bring it along your right side. Half frog on the foam roller. So doing the same thing now. We're gliding the right inner thigh along the foam. And how you feel about even. And when you do feel even, roll all the way onto your back. Take a moment to get settled. If you do feel up to it today, if your lower back is not too tight, sometimes bridge pose can be really beneficial as a recovery pose. But sometimes if it's painful, that means it's not beneficial today. So feel it out. Plant your hands down, chin tucks to chest, press through your feet. Inhale, roll up one vertebrae of your spine at a time, lifting your hips any amount. And maybe your hips don't lift at all, and that's okay. You're just engaging upward and you're breathing, and it's still beneficial to leave the hips on the ground. We feel our glutes are strong, but also we're not clenching. So finding effort and ease, keep looking upward, adding your breath for 2. Inhale, exhale, and we'll reverse rolling down nice and slow. Last thing to land are your hips. Taking a moment, tee your arms, exhale, let your legs fall to the right, gaze to your left. Stay like this, or maybe you take more of a stacked leg position, placing your left leg more atop the right. A more closed twist, only if that feels nice. Three breaths. Inhale to come back through center. Do any moving around that you need to do. Take your legs a little wider than the hips. Let them fall to the left, gaze to the right. Either stay like this with the legs staggered or stack them. About 5 rounds of breath from here. Inhale, come back to center. We'll place both feet down, both knees bent. Release your right ankle to your left thigh, pigeon on your back. See how you feel with this. If you don't feel anything happening, then float your left foot up, hug behind your left thigh. It looks like a figure 4. If you still don't feel anything, hug around your left shin bone. 2 breaths. See if you can relax your feet. Inhale, switch sides, build from the ground up, left ankle, right thigh. Stay here or hug the right thigh or the right shin bone in. See if you can loosen your toes. Next time you inhale, unwind everything, give your legs a hug. Maybe you allow your knees to open, big toes to touch, and you start reaching through your legs to feel a hip stretch in reclined butterfly. Maybe you start to flex your feet towards the sky, big open hip position, happy baby, reaching down your legs or hugging your big toes with peace sign fingers. Sending your tailbone down to the ground, tucking your chin to your chest. The goal of this pose is not only hip opening, it's also to lengthen your spine, but that can only happen if we keep our tailbone down, and that might mean adjusting for less of a hip opener, and that's okay. Some people like to rock side to side here. You could experiment with that if it's something you enjoy. If it's not something you enjoy, you don't have to do it. come back to center and start to rewind, butterfly, knees together, one last hug. And we'll end how we began, on our backs, maybe with the support under your knees, no prop. Get comfortable. Spend as much time resting as we would like. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice, this winter recovery yoga. If you'd like to catch more videos, more yoga videos and fitness videos, things like that, with me, then consider subscribing to my channel. It's free to subscribe, and it will just make you aware of all the videos that come out. Thank you so much. Namaste.